Hello and welcome back to the SuperTables Getting Started course series. In this session number 10, we will learn how to apply custom tooltips. Let's take a look. Tooltips play a big part when using Tableau. They are an essential ingredient for most dashboards to get more information on our data points. In SuperTables, however, the standard Tableau tooltips tend to get very bulky due to the sheer amount of data that can be displayed inside a single supertable, and it tends to always be in your way when you navigate through the table. Additionally, it always shows the same tooltip for each row and column. So the best practice here is to deactivate the standard Tableau tooltip and create a custom tooltip inside the extension. This gives us more flexibility and also allows us to show different tooltips depending on the column. To create custom tooltips in SuperTables, we simply open the Format extension menu and navigate to the Tooltip section. In here, we then enable the custom tooltips. To create our first tooltip, we click Add a new tooltip. Then we can choose whether we want to define a universal tooltip, which is visible on all columns, or a specialized tooltip for selected columns only. Down below, we can then enter our tooltip contents using text and dynamic elements referring to certain content of our table. Using the @ symbol allows us to refer to a defined column in our table. Using the $ allows us to retrieve the current name or value of the cell we are hovering over. Our example tooltip uses both of those dynamic elements. Let's apply and close to just see what that looks like. As we can see, we now have a new, more dynamic tooltip which provides us with the information we specified. Now let's add another tooltip that's attached to a certain column. To do this, we navigate back to the tooltip menu. We go ahead and make a new tooltip, and since we have already created a universal tooltip, the only option we are left with is to create a tooltip for a specified column. In the drop-down menu below, we can then select which column we want to refer to. In this case, we will work with product name. Next to adding dynamic text, as we just did, the extension also allows us to add images as tooltips. So what we will do here is, instead of having our product image as fixed part of our table, we will include the product images into our tooltip. So first, let's get rid of the default input. And then, to add an image to our tooltip, we click the image icon. In here, we have 3 different options on how to pull in the according images. In our case, since we have the image URL stored in a separate column, we will go for option number 2. By clicking Add and Image, which is the column where we have stored our image data, we can select the right column. And we will go for a max width of 100 pixels. And click Add Image. Apply and close to see the changes. Now, if we hover over our product name, which is hidden in the product column group, we can see that we now have a product image in our tooltip next to our universal tooltips, which are still available in the other columns of our SuperTables. So now, if we wanted to, we could hide our image column completely to save some space, since we have the product images in our tooltip. So let's quickly do that. And this is how we can create custom tooltips for our supertable. In the next video, we will learn how to create custom views using state parameters. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like and a comment and consider subscribing to our channel.